There's a certain energy that enters the room when someone truly values you, when you are not just a choice, but the choice. Yet too often, we find ourselves settling for attention that feels half-hearted, love that feels conditional, and words that sound sweet but fade too soon. It's a painful truth. Not every man who says he cares actually does. Some see you as an option, a convenient comfort when their world is quiet. Others see you as a home, a reason, a reflection of everything they've been searching for. And once you understand the difference, once you learn to read the silence, the patterns, the energy, you'll never be confused again. Because love isn't about what they say. It's about how they show up when no one's watching. When you're just an option, attention feels like a game of chance. It's unpredictable, unstable, and filled with excuses that slowly begin to sound like echoes of disinterest. You'll notice how their messages come in bursts, intense one day, silent the next. They'll appear when it benefits them, when the loneliness creeps in, or when they need validation to remind themselves they still have you in their orbit. The connection feels shallow because it's built on convenience, not care. And deep down, you start feeling the imbalance. You start questioning why you have to wait for them to notice you, why you celebrate crumbs when you deserve the whole loaf of attention. When someone sees you as an option, they never plan you into their day. They just fit you in when there's space. You can feel it in the timing of their texts, in how their voice sounds distracted, in the way their eyes drift elsewhere, even when they're beside you. Their attention is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their priorities. And when you're not the priority, no amount of effort can make you one. You could pour your energy, your heart, your softness into them, but it'll never be enough for someone who doesn't see you as their chosen person. But when love is genuine, attention becomes natural. It doesn't need to be requested. It's offered freely. They don't check in because they have to. They do it because you're part of their thoughts even when they're busy. They remember small details you mentioned once in passing. They ask about your day, not out of politeness, but out of genuine curiosity. Their presence feels grounded, not rushed. It doesn't disappear when life gets messy. Instead, it deepens. When someone truly loves you, their attention isn't about control. It's about connection. It's in the good morning text that feels warm and real, in the call they make just to hear your voice, in the way they listen. Not to respond, but to understand. You don't have to compete with distractions or fight for a spot in their schedule because you already hold space in their heart. Real love doesn't keep you guessing. It's consistent, steady, and patient. It's not about who they talk to when they're bored. It's about who they choose even when life gets loud. Because true attention doesn't come from convenience, it comes from care. Time is the truest reflection of where the heart truly belongs. When someone sees you as just an option, you'll notice how time becomes a slippery excuse, something they use to justify their distance. They'll tell you they're busy, overwhelmed, or tired. Days go by without a call, messages sit unanswered, and the warmth of connection fades slowly into a pattern of waiting. You start to realize that busy isn't the problem. Priority is. Because no one is ever too busy for what truly matters to them. When someone wants you in their life, they find a way to weave you into their world, even in the smallest of ways. When you're only an option, your presence doesn't command urgency. You exist in the background of their plans, something they might get to when everything else is done. You're the person they think of when there's nothing better to do, when loneliness sets in, when they need to feel wanted for a moment. You're part of their life in fragments, never in full. It's a quiet kind of rejection, one that doesn't shout, but whispers through every postponed plan, every delayed reply, every excuse that begins to sound rehearsed. But when someone truly loves you, time stops being a negotiation. It becomes a gift they give freely. They make space for you, not because they're obligated, but because being with you feels like see home. Even in the busiest moments, they find seconds to let you know you're on their mind. It could be a short text in between meetings, a quick call before they sleep, or a voice note just to say they care. They don't wait for the right time, they create it. Because love doesn't delay what it values. When love is real, time transforms from a limitation into a language. Every effort, every gesture says, "You matter." They'll show up not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. You won't have to chase their attention because they'll naturally seek yours. You'll feel their presence even when they're away. That's the difference between being an option and being the one they love. One leaves you waiting, the other keeps showing up. Because in truth, time doesn't lie. It exposes priorities, reveals intentions, and proves who's just passing through and who's planning to stay. Words are easy. They flow effortlessly from the lips of someone who knows how to say the right things but has no intention of living up to them. When you're just an option, you'll hear promises that sound sweet in the moment but dissolve into silence when it's time for action. They'll say they care, they'll say they'll change, they'll say they're serious, yet nothing about their behavior reflects those words. Their effort comes in waves, grand gestures when they sense you slipping away, and distance when they feel safe again. It's a cycle of empty reassurance that keeps you holding on to potential instead of reality. You start to realize that effort isn't about saying, "I love you" 100 times, it's about showing it once with genuine consistency. When someone sees you as an option, their actions always depend on how convenient it is for them. They give when it suits their mood, when it doesn't disrupt their comfort, or when they fear losing your attention. Their effort becomes a tool of control rather than care. You'll feel the imbalance in how much you give compared to how little you receive. You're investing emotion, time, and energy while they're offering crumbs and calling it love. But when love is real, effort is effortless. It's not forced or performed, it flows naturally from the heart. The person who truly values you won't need reminders to show they care. They'll remember the details that matter. The way you take your coffee, the song that makes you smile, the small things that make your world softer. Their effort won't always be dramatic or loud, but it will be steady. It will be in the way they listen to your silence, in how they check on you without being asked, in the quiet understanding that love is built through daily acts of presence. True effort isn't about perfection, it's about intention. It's the willingness to grow, to communicate, to show up even when things aren't easy. When someone loves you deeply, they don't make excuses, they make adjustments. They don't say, "I'll try." They simply do, because genuine love recognizes that consistency is the most powerful form of affection. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing what matters again and again until you no longer have to question where you stand. Real effort doesn't need to be chased. It's felt, trusted, and seen. Energy never lies. You can feel it long before the truth is spoken. When you're just an option, their presence feels uncertain, like standing on shifting ground. One day they're warm, affectionate, and completely present, and the next they're distant, distracted, or emotionally unavailable. Their tone changes, their eyes avoid contact, and the energy that once pulled you in now feels like it's pushing you away. You sense something is off, but you can't quite name it. That's because energy speaks louder than words. It reveals what people try to hide. And when you're only an option, their inconsistency becomes the clearest signal that their heart isn't fully with you. You start to notice the subtle shifts, the delayed replies, the hollow compliments, the mechanical affection that lacks depth. They may still say they care, but their energy tells a different story. Love can't survive in uncertainty, and your intuition feels the difference between attention given from love and attention given from guilt. Their presence feels temporary, like they're there in body, but somewhere else in spirit. You find yourself questioning your worth, replaying every interaction, trying to decode mixed signals that were never meant to be confusing in the first place. That confusion is your answer. When energy wavers, so does genuine connection. But when someone truly loves you, their energy feels safe, constant, grounding, and real. It's not about being overly expressive or dramatic. It's about the calm assurance that they're emotionally invested. You don't have to guess how they feel because their presence speaks peace. The energy between you feels natural, effortless, and alive. When they're around, your guard drops, your anxiety quiets, and your soul feels understood without having to explain itself. That's what authentic energy does. It doesn't drain, it restores. Love's energy is steady. It doesn't need to perform. It's not built on tension or fear, but on mutual respect and emotional safety. When someone loves you, you'll feel it even in their silence. You'll sense it in how they show up, how they listen, how they hold space for you without judgment. Their energy wraps around you like warmth, not confusion. It becomes your reminder that love isn't about words or promises. It's about presence. Because while people can fake words, affection, even behavior for a while, energy never lies. It tells the truth long before their actions do. And once you learn to listen to it, you'll never fall for half-hearted love again. Actions reveal what words try to hide. When you're just an option, everything they do feels conditional, based on what benefits them or how much effort they feel like giving at the moment. They may do just enough to keep you interested, but never enough to make you feel secure. Their gestures often appear when you start pulling away, not because they care deeply, but because they don't want to lose their convenience. It's not genuine affection, it's control disguised as concern. They move only when they sense your absence, not because they value your presence. That's the pattern of someone who treats you as an option. They respond to loss, not love. You'll see it in their timing, in how their affection returns the moment you go silent. They'll suddenly remember how to be kind, how to reach out, how to make you smile, only to fade again once they feel you're back in their grasp. It's a push and pull cycle designed to keep you emotionally tied, but never truly fulfilled. Their actions lack depth because their intentions lack truth. You start realizing that love isn't supposed to make you anxious. It's not meant to leave you wondering whether they'll show up this time or not. But when someone truly loves you, their actions are intentional. They don't wait for you to withdraw to start showing effort. They nurture the connection even when everything is fine. Their consistency isn't fueled by fear, it's driven by care. They protect what they value long before it's at risk. Their gestures aren't performative or dramatic, they're steady, reliable, and filled with sincerity. When they say they'll do something, they follow through, not to impress you, but because your trust matters to them. Real love reveals itself in the small, quiet actions, showing up when you're down, supporting your dreams, listening without judgment, and respecting your boundaries. It's the way they choose to understand you even when you're hard to love. You never have to question their intentions because their actions consistently match their words. They don't need reminders to value you. It's second nature. That's how you know you're loved. Not by how much they say it, but by how naturally they live it. Because actions, unlike words, can't be faked forever. They expose what the heart truly feels. And when someone's actions reflect care, consistency, and respect, you'll never have to wonder if you're an option, because their love will make you feel like the only choice. Silence is where truth reveals itself. When you stop explaining, stop chasing, and stop trying to prove your worth, that's when you finally see who's real and who's only there for convenience. When you're just an option, your silence won't bother them. It'll free them. They won't reach out to ask if you're okay or wonder what went wrong. They'll take your absence as an opportunity to drift away, to explore distractions, or to seek validation elsewhere. Their comfort in your distance speaks volumes. It shows they were never truly connected to your soul. They were connected to what you gave them. Attention, affection, effort. Once that stops, so do they. You'll feel the difference in how easily they let go. No confusion, no urgency, no attempt to understand. Just quiet detachment that stings because it's so effortless. But that's the lesson silence teaches. It exposes the depth of someone's heart. When you're just an option, your stillness doesn't echo in their world. They move on without hesitation because they were never emotionally anchored to you. They were floating above the surface while you were drowning in depth. But when someone truly loves you, silence shakes them. It doesn't sit right in their chest. They feel your absence like a missing heartbeat. They notice the quiet because it's unnatural to them. They reach out, not out of control or desperation, but out of genuine care. They want to understand, to bridge the gap, to restore peace. They don't wait for your silence to become distance. They move towards you because your energy matters. They sense when something's off, even if you haven't said a word. That's how you know love is real. It's sensitive to silence. Real love doesn't rest easy in disconnection. It can't pretend everything is fine when you're withdrawn or hurting. It seeks to heal, to communicate, to make things right. The one who truly loves you won't let pride win over peace. They'll show up. They'll remind you that your silence doesn't go unnoticed. Because love listens even when no words are spoken. Silence reveals everything. It separates the ones who were there for attention from the ones who were there for you. It shows who's capable of depth and who only survives on surface level affection. And when you master the strength of silence, you stop chasing what was never yours. You simply make space for what's real enough to stay.